Have you ever felt lost? Like your life is a mess, or you're in a situation where you feel completely out of control? Maybe you try to control other people or your outside reality because inside your mind it feels chaotic and unmanageable. So, what is going on here? Let me tell you the truth. What you really need in this situation is self-discipline. Let me show you why. Inner discipline reflects in your outer environment. What do I mean by this? When you have discipline, your energy, your whole aura changes. When your mind is organized and clean, it reflects in your outer reality. With discipline, you can start to navigate outer chaos because you can handle the inner chaos in your own mind. I once knew an awesome teacher who was so organized that his very presence could quieten an entire classroom full of rowdy, noisy students. He was always on time. He always ended on time. He was respectful and compassionate, and he listened. It seemed like he had time for everything. So his students were equally disciplined in his energy, and they were very happy to be in his class. They enjoyed his lessons. So it brought out the best in them. On the other hand, I noticed a substitute teacher for the same class who was always late. He was always disorganized, and even his appearance was disheveled. He was a mess. He was exactly the opposite of their regular teacher. And guess what? His energy impacted that classroom environment. And he usually had trouble keeping the class focused. People were always talking out of turn. The classroom was unfocused. So it just shows you when you lack discipline, there is chaos within you and there's chaos all around you. And you're not your best self. You're just a mess, and you're always trying to catch up with life because it feels like you're always running behind. Cultivating discipline is especially important for children, growing children, and adults who have experienced trauma or abuse growing up. Because oftentimes, those who have been abused in childhood lacked structure and boundaries. So they were just victims of chaos, just like these students. So you can see with discipline, you not only bring out the best in yourself, but you also bring out the best in others. Why else do you need discipline? Because discipline brings out the best in you. When you look at someone, you can tell by their habits, the way they dress, groom, and carry themselves. Are they a disorganized mess, or are they neat and tidy? You can tell if they have self-discipline. In fact, self-discipline is a telltale sign that this person is being compassionate to themselves. And if you have it, you command respect. You don't compromise for other people's chaos. Discipline brings out the best in you. With it, you are centered within your own values and yourself. Without it, you are not being yourself. It's just chaos. To practice self-discipline, you need to make it a part of your daily life. Structure is important. Cultivate a daily routine of good habits. Take inventory of what life has been telling you and teaching you. Maybe you've been getting nudges to go to bed early and wake up early. That's discipline. Or how about cleaning your room once a week? Or getting some exercise early in the morning? You might notice that one good habit starts to feed into another. And soon enough, you find yourself in a disciplined routine. Discipline is practicing those good habits and right actions that might feel difficult or challenging in the moment, but they're actually strengthening you and allowing you to grow over time. You start to feel more confident as you take right actions and habits, and this allows your self-love to grow. So embrace it. Embrace the routine that comes through you. Practice it and just watch how it transforms your life. And now for the most interesting and important point of all. Self-discipline is self-love. We talk a lot about self-love these days. But is self-love just about taking bubble baths and getting pedicures and massages? When you think about discipline, you might think of rigid structure. You might think of a dictator. You might picture Miss Trunchbull from Matilda with a ruler in her hand waiting to smack a bunch of students. Discipline might make us think of a kind of tyranny, waiting to punish us. This has often been the way that discipline has been used in the past by the ego in an unloving and abusive way. But there is another way. True discipline is a safe container that allows love to grow, self-love to grow. That's right. Discipline is self-love. With a disciplined practice of consistent good habits, a good routine, you can shape your mind from starting from an unruly ball of clay into this beautiful sculpture molded over time. Discipline can be used in a compassionate way or uncompassionately, in a harsh way. It can either foster harshness or harmony and self-love. So your intention for discipline matters. It makes all the difference. The attitude matters. With the right attitude, you can practice self-discipline. You start to appreciate the structure, the rules, the boundaries. With the wrong attitude, you see discipline as a kind of punishment and something you need to escape from. So, as you cultivate the right attitude, you start to see that all of these things, rules, boundaries, structures, they are acts of self-love. They bring out the best in you, and they're not restrictions. They are actually gifts that you give yourself. To truly be compassionate to yourself, you need discipline. You need to be that person, respectable and uncompromising in your values. Because discipline is not just about following rules and rigidity. It's actually about creating a life of self-respect and self-love. Discipline is self-love. And when you embrace discipline, you will find the peace and order you've been seeking all along. I hope you found this video helpful.